right. I'm the Kodiak. Welcome to the Art of Life. And today I'm going to be talking about why you should never tell your parents some secrets. And this is such an important video that I have notes written down on my computer just to make sure I don't forget anything. So, it's 12:30 on a Tuesday morning, and I'm in my basement recording this. And it's cold as fuck down here. That's why I've got the hoodie on. But yeah, without further ado, let's dive into it. And I have notes written down on my computer just to make sure I don't forget anything. So, first things first, never tell your parents about your social life. Never tell your parents that you sneak out if you do. And if you do drugs or drink, never tell them about that either. All right? So, the more you tell them about your everyday life and the more open you are, the more you run the risk of getting yourself into trouble. Think about it like talking to a judge or the cops without a lawyer. The more you say, the worse it will end up for you. I don't care if your parents are like, oh, you can trust me. Bottom line is, if you are doing something illegal and you're still a minor, they're not going to trust you by any means. I'm sure they'd love to wake up one morning and be like, oh, yeah, I totally trust all my kids. But that's just not how it works, okay? If they are cool with you doing something like drinking or smoking weed, they are still not going to trust you, flat out, straight up, all right? I'm not saying to not talk to them or anything. That's just a horrible idea. If you're not going to talk to them, and if you're going to ghost your parents while you live under the same roof, they're going to think something is wrong. Nobody worries about you more than your family, okay? Even if you don't think they love you, they are still going to worry about you and wonder if something is wrong if you're not talking to them. Um, I'll give you an example. So, November of my sophomore year, my sister thought something was wrong with me because I was basically forced into going with her to 7-Eleven. I didn't want to be there. I was giving one word answers. I was talking on my phone the entire time, and I was texting. So we get home, and I hear her crying in her room for like an hour. And yeah, a few moments after that, my dad comes into my room, and he's just like, hey, is everything okay? Your sister said that you weren't talking to her. You were on your phone the entire time. Is everything good? And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, point stands that your family will always worry about you. And it was for that I actually ended up not talking to my sister for like over a week. But whatever. So there are some things that you actually do have to tell your parents about, okay? You know, throughout high school, I swept some health things under the rug, and I'm actually like paying the price for it right now. If you get robbed or something like that, they need to know so that like psychological consequences aren't going to be as big. Um, And if you have depression or anxiety, you probably are not going to want to tell your parents because I guarantee that's not a comfortable conversation to have. But they're going to need to know about it, but I'll get to it later how you can, avoid talking with them about it. So your parents think they know everything, but the bottom line is they don't. And my sister tells my parents way too much sometimes, and more often than not, it usually turns into an argument. Like I asked her about it one time, and her excuse was, "I tell mom and dad everything." I was just like, "All right, you can see how that works out for you. Keep getting into arguments. Don't listen to me." And if you don't value your own privacy, what makes you think others will? You know, your parents and grandparents will want to know everything that's happening in your life. Hell, I'm not even going to tell my parents about this channel until they end up finding out about it from somewhere else. When I was about 11, my mom looked through my phone without my permission. And I don't have anything to hide. I just don't want someone going through my phone without like telling me first. And ever since that day, I've been silent with her and my dad about my everyday life. Hell, I'm making this fucking video in my basement at 12:30 on a Tuesday morning, and I have school in 6 hours. You got me fucked up if you think they're gonna hear about this when I wake up. Your parents are not always confident in your ability to handle your life by yourself. That's why they want to know, and that's why they might seem nosy. But you can't crack under the pressure. You gotta stay strong. And if you have stuff that you 1000% need to get off your chest, use Reddit, r slash off my chest or r slash confession. And, or you can tell your friends that you trust. But the only problem is that you are going to have to expect your friends to remain loyal to you and your secret. I've probably told way too much to some people, and yeah, looking back on it, I regret it, and I shouldn't have told them, but my mistake. I'll try to prevent it from happening in the future. So, like I said, if the secret has nothing to do with safety, then you shouldn't be telling your parents it anyway. Uh, but if it does have to do with it, for example, if you're suicidal and crying your eyes out every night, they need to know that. Uh, have them take you to the therapist or something if that's your deal and you just can't talk with them about it. But you should never, ever, ever rely on them to be your emotional support system for whatever's like going on in your life. There's a certain importance, like I said, to having friends that you can just talk with about anything, no holds barred. You'll know the best people in your life when they're willing to talk to you about anything and their perception of you won't change one bit. So, the most important lesson I want y'all to take away from this video is don't tell your parents anything unless they need to know it. And two, if you really, really, really need to tell someone about something, talk to one of your friends and expect them to stay loyal to you, or just use Reddit off my chest. Alright, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are not already, and I'm the Kodiak. Have a good day, and peace out.